about Sonny Franzese, his dad, is that everybody really respected him, and that he was a legit man's man kind of mobster. Dude, did you know you can subscribe to onlywrestlers.com and keep in touch with your favorite wrestlers? The party never has to end.
One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
We'll take the super chats here and then we'll close this one out because we got I got work tomorrow morning early, and I know Rob's got some stuff to handle too. All right. Maddie, has RVD met Michael Franzese, the Colombo crime family? He does that great YouTube show.
Yes, he does. What a wonderful question to ask. Why Michael Franzese? I wonder. First off, did Seth not even see me wear the VBDC?
Seth might not be here tonight.
He didn't make it in because we're on a Monday and we threw him off. Make sure you take a picture, get a screenshot. Something.
Here, hold on. I'll screenshot you right now. Wait, Rob. Here. Okay, ready? Boom. All right. I got it.
Wait. Do it again because the shirt was fucked up.
Okay, hold on. Boom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. We got it.
We got it. We got it. Yeah. I like it.
So yes, he's a friend of mine. A friend. I say because he is. He's someone that I like to keep in touch with, and someone I consider a friend. But a friend. I don't know him super well, not like a friend that I grew up with or anything like that. So, but definitely someone that super cool dude, and I respect him. Definitely respect his business acumen. Like, holy crap. So, for people listening, if you don't know who Michael Franzese is, he was a mobster associated with the Colombo crime family. His dad, Sonny Franzese, was the underboss at one time, like very powerful, very respected. Like anything ever that you hear or read about Sonny Franzese, his dad, is that everybody really respected him, and that he was a legit man's man kind of mobster. So Michael grew up under him, and what Michael is known for, his greatest accomplishment, his greatest scheme, his greatest crime that he went to jail for, he was robbing gas companies, and he would do it by buying a gas station, and then they would sell the gas out of it, and then they're supposed to send money to pay the taxes on that gas, but they would just keep it instead, and they would stay there so long, and then they would just move on. And they had what's called a daisy chain, where they went all up and down the coast there. They had hundreds, I'm not sure what the number is, I don't know if it was thousands, maybe it was, of gas stations, and they would just buy them up and move on. And by the time the government found out that they're not getting their taxes, because there's a long period between getting paid and then, hey, you're delinquent, and chasing it down, all that, by the time they found out, that they'd be long gone from the gas station and they had moved on, and be, bankrupt, and boom, out of there. So he kept this going for a while, and he made so much money that, according to Michael, he was bringing in between $2 and $10 million a week.
Holy crap.
That's a lot of fucking bread.
What year was this, Rob? Around.
Trying to think of what I could compare it to, because I want to say either late 70s or early 80s, in that time period. I don't know what to relate it to. I don't know what years he went to jail. I mean, Carmine Persico was the boss, but he's always the boss, and was till he died recently. So I guess I don't know. I don't know what year, but Michael is 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
So you could go by that and say he was probably in his late 20s, early 30s. So
hypothetically, we'll do. I'm putting this into a calculator. So we'll say let's go 1978 just for the hell of it. And
let's do it. And he was using some of the money to start making movies. He was financing making like these cheap 80s kind of movies. So it was coming around that corner into there. But anyway, and he had to kick up. I think he kicked up 50% to Carmine Persico, the boss of the family.
oh,
But anyway, he did this for a long time and made a lot of money. And they finally brought him down, and he ended up doing time and got released and renounced his membership to the mob as much as you can. They wanted to whack him. They didn't trust him, but he ends up, he did some testifying, but he says that he didn't say anything that wasn't already out there. He has his own perspective on how deep he ratted, but he's now a free man. And when I first moved to Las Vegas at the end of 2018, Michael was doing a show in here in town at the Plaza downtown Las Vegas, and it was a stage show with dancing and him telling mob stories. So me and Katie went to check it out with a couple of my friends, Dane and his date, and anyway, Mike would be on stage and he would say, I knew that I had to meet with the boss of the Genovese crime family. And I knew that, I had to be on my best behavior, and the boss at that time was a man named Tony Salerno. And he's like, we're talking, boom, boom, boom. And then the lights would go out and he would like kind of recede off stage, and then lights would come on and there's girls like dancing Las Vegas style and stuff. It was an interesting mix, and I got to hear him tell some stories in between. The lights would dim and come back on and he's there and say, oh man, the 80s were crazy. I had this and this and this going on. And anyway, during that show, he said, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take a question from members of the audience. Anybody who wants to try this? Think you're a good mob enthusiast? He said, here's your chance. I'll tell you what, whoever has the best question for me at the end of the night, I'll sit down and have a beer with you.
What?
And before I even reacted, my friend was like, just put his hand up. Goes, Rob, think of a question. And I was like, and then he said, how about right over here? I said, okay, Michael. You said that you went and had a sit down with the mob boss of the Genovese crime family, Tony Salerno, but it's been long alleged that Tony Salerno was only a front man and that the true boss the whole time was Vinny the Chin Gigante. And, so what's the deal with that? And he's like, this guy knows his stuff right here, I tell you. And so we ended up having a beer afterwards. And then I seen him once or twice more after that, got together with him down at the Plaza, or Oscar Goodman, who was our lawyer and a good friend of his steakhouse. Last time I met Michael was up there at the steakhouse, but sometimes I would meet him after his show, would get out, and he wasn't much of a drinker, but he would sit and have a beer with me. And so, yeah, I definitely met him. He's a friend of mine. He's somebody that I've had to message a few times for a friend of mine and be like, oh God, this is embarrassing. But my friend wants to know, you're doing a show in his town. He wants to know if I can get tickets for him, man. I'm sorry, you don't have to do this, bro. I'm a scumbag. But he did. He's cool. He's super cool.
That's
great
awesome
guy. And I hope I can get a chance to have a beer with him again. But the show didn't last much longer after I moved here. And then the show ended and he moved out of town. He's back in California. So, I don't run into him anymore.
Man, that's awesome. He'd be an awesome guest to have on here. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
He'd be
And he's one of those guys that's doing killer numbers.
He's doing real cool. Yeah, he can give us some tips.
Well, first it was like Frank Colada, and I love that the Colada show, Coffee with Colada, and that was about the guy that was still alive here in Vegas from the movie Casino, but he died during COVID. After his podcast had been going for 2 or 3 years by then, and so there's a lot of good shows on there. And Adam Flowers, his host, kept it going. He does the mob tours out here, which I think sometime I'm going to do that, which I have done, but it's been years and years ago. I would like to do it again now that I understand Vegas a little better, because before it was just someone took me somewhere. I don't know where it was, But anyway, it was Frank Colada's Coffee with Colada. And then I think Michael Franzese was the second one, the way I remember it. Johnny Alight was around there too. Like they were like some of the very first, the way I remember it, mob podcasts. And then anyway, pretty soon, boom, like there's so many, I can't keep up with all of them. There's just no way.
His show's really good though. I watched both parts of him with the Hells Angels guy, which I thought was a really good episode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He interviewed the guy from the Hells Angels, and it was neat to hear the different dynamics between the mafia and the biker gangs, and what the similarities and the differences. I thought was really cool.
Right. Yeah, I don't know much about bikers, and for some reason I only saw the beginning of that episode. I need to go back and watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really fascinating and stuff.
He comes across really like well-spoken and respectable, right?
Yes, he does. Yeah, I really appreciate. I liked it a lot. It's really enjoyable. I subscribe to his channel. It doesn't pop up on my feed though, so I gotta look and see.
Oh yeah, that's weird. The Mob Museum does that on my phone. Like I can never. Yeah. I always got to look at the spam to see what they've been sending me for the last few months and what I missed out on.
Yeah,
what's going on. Yeah,
and I get frustrated by that. But,
what else was I gonna say? Closing remarks about Michael. Oh, I was just gonna say on his show, he definitely likes to bring Jesus into the conversation, but not in a pushy way, more like in a recommended way.
Yeah. Doing the due diligence for Jesus. So there we go.
Yo, Rob, we're going to take a quick time out just to say that this week's episode of One of a Kind with RVD is presented by Get Blitzed. Get Blitzed Lit Aid Nano-Infused THC Syrup is a premium cannabis-infused syrup formulated with nanotechnology for fast-acting effects. And that advanced nanotechnology formulation allows for quicker onset and enhanced potency compared to regular THC syrup. It's Delta-9 and legal in all 50 states, every single one. And you have several syrups to choose from Blue Raz to Key Lime Pie to Pina Colada to Tiger's Blood to Cherry to Grape. Just head to get-blitz.com, use promo code RVD, and get 15% off your whole order. Could be a bottle, could be a bundle, your choice. But yes, head to get-blitz.com, use promo code RVD, and it is by Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney. Take a look. Head to get-blitz.com, promo code RVD, get 15% off. It's one of a kind, baby.
Spring is here, and you want to look good. Moving into spring, getting ready for summer, getting ready for the sunlight out, the rays hitting you. You want to look good. You look good. You want to almost say you want to look perfect. You won't look any more perfect than using Perfect Jeans. And I tell you what, you won't feel any more better this summer and spring with Perfect Jeans. I tell you what, they have the best, no doubt about it. This is a legitimate shoot. I am taking the Perfect Jeans with me to WrestleMania week this coming week. They are my favorite pair of pants I own overall, and I will be rocking them. I'll be rocking the Perfect Jean in Las Vegas at WrestleMania week. So you should be on the lookout for that. But you should be on the lookout for our special code that we got for you guys in this special offer this week. The Perfect Jean is something that me and Rob, we got early on here. And I can't speak highly enough, like I said, of it. And I got the light blue kind, which was such a cool looking pair. And they fit me great. The form fitting is everything. And they stretch great too. So much good stuff. The Perfect Gene always has free shipping and exchanges and returns. You can have a peace of mind knowing that your order is completely risk-free as well. So Perfect Gene doesn't stop at just jeans. They've also revolutionized t-shirts too, which is cool. The Perfect Tee has enough to stretch and hide that beer belly while accentuating your arms and chest for that flawless look. It's as soft as butter without shrinking in the wash. Like all your other tees, it's perfect. So it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectgene.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code RVD15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with promo code RVD15. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that One of a Kind with RVD sent you. F your khakis and get the Perfect Gene.